I'm going to start with Patrick Dumont, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, who a couple weeks ago made one of the biggest trades in NBA history. You can agree or disagree whether it was a good trade, bad trade for any team, and this by no means is demeaning either player in the situation. But what I had a hard time with was him trying to kick Luka on the way out, disrespecting him every step of the way. And this is a guy, from everything we researched, has no history in sports, and particularly no history in basketball. This guy married into money and was gifted this position. We've all known and loved Dallas for a long time. Obviously, Mark Cuban's going to go down as one of the greatest owners in history. It's always been a destination and always been one of the best ran organizations, not just in the NBA, but in professional sports history. But of late, it almost seems like things have been crumbling. Over 2,000 Dallas Mavericks subscribers have dropped their subscription. There's been protests at the arena. They bought graves to their arena. Jason Kidd didn't speak to the media after the first game with AD. It's just kind of been a mess. Fans were thrown out of the games for bringing posters that were, I guess, jeopardizing or disrespectful towards management. And it seems like once an organization that was once highly touted and looked at as one of the strongest and best organizations is slowly crumbling in front of us. When Patrick Dumont talked to the Dallas media, he said that Luka just really doesn't fit the shape almost of the greats before him. The Jordans, the Birds, the Shaqs, the Kobes. Spoke on his work ethic and him kind of being a lazy player and all kinds of, again, just disrespectful things you normally don't hear from an owner. But does this surprise you? This kind of reminds me of the guy sitting in the Oval Office right now. Always disrespecting, always kind of take low shots at people, but to no surprise, this leadership of the Dallas Mavericks donated $100 million to Trump. So maybe they took a page out of his book on the disrespectful tip. Now, I'm not saying that Luka doesn't have a lot to work on when it comes to the way he carries himself towards the refs, his lack of effort, his complaining, and just his energy overall. But let's not forget, this guy is 25 years old. This guy has taken his team to the NBA Finals last year. Took him to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago and dropped 73 points, which is the fourth highest total in the history of the league and second highest in this era, right behind Kobe's 81. I always thought this situation was above Nico. I always thought this had to be coming from the top. We all know this new ownership tried to come in and do the whole casino thing, and it just didn't pan out. Then they tried to make a jump to Vegas, and that didn't pan out. So when their pan was empty and they made a bad trade, now all they can do is try to talk shit about Luka. But we've all seen Luka. And again, does he have some flaws? I think every player has some flaws. He has some things he needs to work on. Absolutely. But to try to demean and disrespect one of the greatest players in the game, and arguably someone who will go down as one of the greatest players in history, I just think it was very poor taste. Also, the Mark Cuban angle is interesting because when he sold the team, we all caught word that he'll still be in on basketball decisions. Maybe that was a promise given by new ownership that they didn't follow through with. But when Cuban heard about this, he tried everything he could to stop it, but it was too late. Luka is loved and beloved in the city of Dallas, in a state that's known for the Cowboys. The biggest star was a 25-year-old Slovenian kid that has come over here and taken the league by storm. So much that in Luka's debut game, Lakers versus the Jazz, guess who was sitting in the crowd to show his support? The one and only legendary Dirk Nowitzki. Mr. Dumont, take a step back, take a seat. You know nothing about hard work or what it takes to be great. You married into money. Sit with this trade that you made. Hopefully Anthony Davis gets healthy, and I wish Dallas Mavericks the best moving forward. But shut the fuck up, man.
Thank you so much for checking in with the channel. In a shocking turn of events, Dallas Mavericks owner Patrick Dumont stirred controversy by calling star player Luka Doncic lazy, a comment that has now made headlines around the sports world. According to Dumont, Luka's lack of commitment and effort in key moments of the game were central factors in the decision to trade him away. The remark was made during a private meeting with team executives, where Dumont allegedly expressed frustration over Doncic's inconsistent work ethic, particularly in practice and conditioning. While the specifics of the trade remain under wraps, Dumont's bold words suggest that his assessment played a significant role in reshaping the team's future. The backlash was swift and intense. Fans, analysts, and former players alike were quick to express their disbelief over the comments. Many were baffled by the suggestion that the two-time All-Star could be described as lazy, pointing out his history of dominating performances and high basketball IQ. Social media exploded with criticisms, calling Dumont's comments both unfair and detrimental to the Mavericks' image. Supporters of Doncic, who has been a franchise cornerstone, rallied behind him, expressing how ridiculous it was to blame one of the league's brightest young stars for the team's struggles. On the other hand, some former players and analysts speculated that Dumont might have been looking for an excuse to move Doncic, possibly due to issues beyond work ethic, such as team chemistry or management's internal goals. Either way, the comment has sparked a firestorm that will continue to follow the Mavericks for months to come. Please consider subscribing, like this video and leave a comment, and see you in the next video.